Well, 30 years ago, an unlikely holiday classic took the world by storm.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween.
From the twisted mind of Tim Burton.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
This stop-motion film took over 3 years to make, producing just 1 minute of film per week until it finally hit the big screen in 1993.
What's this? What's this? There's colour everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air.
Burton teamed up with legendary composer Danny Elfman and an all-star cast, including Chris Sarandon as the voice of Jack Skellington.
Halloween's finest trick-or-treaters. The job I have for you is top secret.
Now Chris is stepping behind the mic, serving up season 2 of his new podcast, Cooking by Heart.
If you don't know why we share a last name, you'll soon find out. Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Sarandon.
How fabulous. Hey, Chris joins us again from Connecticut. Buddy, good to see you.
Hey!
Good to see you too, David. You too, Belinda. Nice to be sharing this time with you this morning, or this evening for me.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we appreciate your time, as always. You know, we often get you on at this time of year because of the Nightmare Before Christmas, but this year feels pretty special. It's 30 years, and it's...
Well, extraordinary to be thinking it's 30 years, first of all.
And it's one of those things that, because when it did come out, it wasn't considered a hit, and it's grown so much so to become this holiday Halloween classic. What are your memories of like when you were doing it? Did it feel like you guys were onto a hit at the time?
At the time, it was very difficult to tell. I mean, you know, I knew that it was extraordinary in some way because getting to visit the sets, seeing some of the scenes that had already been shot when I started, because they recorded Danny Elfman's music before I came in to do the speaking voice of Jack. But there was something about it that was just very special. Remember the first time I took a look at it, I saw it in black and white because I was going into the studio with Tim Burton to do some redo of some of the lines. And as I'm watching this black and white sort of muddy version of it, my 3 small children had gathered beside me, unbeknownst to me, and their mouths were just like totally agape. And I thought, well, this is going to be something that's going to be special.
Yeah, and it's definitely stood the test of time. We were just saying, too, that our kids love it as well.
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara is set to reprise her role for an upcoming concert. She voiced Sally in the original movie. Now, we know you're not involved in it, but how would you like to see it come to life again?
Well, I know that they're re-releasing it, by the way, in movie theaters. I believe the end of this month.
Oh, great!
In 4D, whatever that means. And there are any number of events that are occurring around the celebration of the 30th anniversary. I want to see one of these concerts, by the way. You know, I did one of my podcasts with Ken Page, who played Oogie Boogie. He's such an enormously entertaining and a mega talented guy. What a singer, what a talent. And he and I have become fast friends, even though we never worked together.
That's extraordinary. I mean, you've done so many great films. I mean, obviously, this is one of our favourites, Princess Bride as well. I love you in Dog Day Afternoon and The Fright Night.
Oh, thank you.
You know, but there is something that's going on now that we have to talk about, which, of course, is the ongoing actors' strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike. We know that the writers have struck a deal. I mean, obviously, we don't know how close you are, and you can't reveal too much of the legalities of it, but how close do you guys think you are now? Because we thought for a minute there that maybe the actors would peg off the back of the writers and get this done quickly, but it seems to be more of a delay.
Well, I think that probably one of the sticking issues, and I'm obviously not an expert about this, but from the standpoint of the people that I've talked to, is the whole idea that AI can replace you on screen if you sign off for it. And that's something that's going to be obviously a major issue going forward. I'm sure that's one of them. Obviously, streaming pay is one, because actors have not been fully remunerated for everything that's on the streaming platform. So there are very complex issues that are somewhat different than the writers' issues. It will get settled, but who knows how long it'll take.
Wow.
Well, you've kept yourself busy anyway. You're back with your season 2 of your podcast, Cooking by Heart. One of your guests was your first wife, Susan. What did you two talk about?
Oh, we talked about, first of all, we always talk about food on the show. We talk about growing up around food. Some revelations that she made, particularly some very, very funny ones about her brother dumping a bowl of soup on top of his head, a crazy Thanksgiving dinner that they had. But she and I also reminisced about some of the stuff that we did when we were, I met Susan when she was 17 and I was 21. We were both very young and married a couple of 3 years later. Again, very young, and then we were together for a while, and we talked a lot about some of the food that we experienced when we were going through our earlier years together, and also some crazy cats that we owned. She also told some great cat stories about some animals that she had. It was a great time, and also it was wonderful to just see her and spend some time with her because we hadn't seen each other in a long time. So it was quite extraordinary.
Well, all that and more is coming up on season 2 of your fantastic podcast. Mate, it's great to have you on the show again. Thank you for catching up with us all the time. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Oh, please. My pleasure. Anytime, guys.
You can
and happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy
a little
Halloween.
ahead of time.
Happy Halloween, one of my favourite times of year.
Only a few weeks to go.
Thanks. Good to see you, Chris. All right, you can check out Chris's podcast, Cooking by Heart. It's really fun. It's on Spotify or on YouTube.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my goodness, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.